What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hit that like button. What's going on? Having a good day. Hope you're having a good day too. And we got some news to get into. So, right quick, there's a story I want to touch on before I get into the other news that's kind of shocking, but not really shocking. President Trump has restarted construction on the border wall. I'm sorry, what's that? President Biden has restarted construction on the border wall. And it's quite the genius move, if I must say so myself, because he's doing it reluctantly. He says he doesn't want to do it, right? But he has no other choice because the funds have been allocated by Congress. So he's basically saying Congress is forcing me to do it. But like I said, it's quite the genius move because now he's making it appear that he's taking care of the border crisis while also maintaining his position that border walls are racist and he doesn't want them at all. That's right. Genius move, if I must say. Good job, Joe Biden. Almost called him President Trump. But yeah, we all know what's going on here. His approval ratings are in the dirt. They're terrible. So he's got to do something to get his approval ratings up because he has an election to win, folks. And apparently, he wants to die in the White House. Because at the rate he's going, if he gets reelected, man, the stress on that poor old guy, I'm being serious. I'm not being facetious or, not being sarcastic. I'm being serious. The guy is seriously old, and he really, really needs to get out of that office. I know I say that damn near every single video I do, but it's the truth, at least from my perspective. Joe Biden has been an ultimate failure in my perspective. I don't know about how you see things, but he hasn't really done anything that's been good. And he definitely hasn't done anything good to offset all the bad shit that he's done. But I digress. Let's get into today's news story. Let's focus in on it. Okay, so this is a big shocker. Air quotes. FBI targets Trump supporters ahead of 2024 election. Here we go with the FBI again. Then the FBI has been seriously weaponized down to the point to where they're just targeting Trump supporters outright. They're not targeting specific individuals that may be showing signs of being, extremists or threatening anybody. They're just, if you're a Trump supporter, you've got a target on your back now, which is crazy because that means that at least 75 million Americans now have a target on their back. Of course, we've all known they've been having a target on their back since 2016. And it's only been ramping up ever since. And it's really ramped up ever since 2020. Ever since those idiots decided to break down the barrier and storm into the Capitol for no apparent reason. Stupid. I wish I could slap some of those people, to be honest. They've done nothing for the populist movement. They've done nothing for the anti-establishment movement except hurt it. That's all they've done is hurt it. So if anybody out there is listening, please, no violence. We've got to do this thing the right way. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Definitely not a Democrat. I know I've said this before. I'm about sovereignty. I'm about personal responsibility, meritocracy, all that good stuff. The classic liberal position is pretty much where I stand. But without further ado, I give you the FBI is allegedly discreetly targeting former President Donald Trump supporters in order to avert violence ahead of the 2024 elections, according to an FBI agent who spoke to the press on the condition of an anonymity. I hate saying that word. According to the press reports that were released on Wednesday, a current FBI officer stated that the Bureau is attempting to avoid a repeat of the events of January 6, 2021, but must also defend Americans' fundamental rights to speak freely and challenge the government. Quote, especially at a time when the White House is facing congressional Republican opposition claiming that the Biden administration has weaponized the Bureau against the right wing. It has to tread very carefully, the agent said. And that is honestly the truth from our perspective. It does appear that way because you're going after the Catholic Church. Okay, there's a lot of conservatives in the Catholic Church. You're going after people who were just at the Capitol. Okay, these people didn't go in. These people weren't violent. They were just at the Capitol January 6th. And the FBI has searched them down all across America, going as far as Alaska to interview these people, interrogate these people. And you think the FBI hasn't been weaponized against the right wing. What in the hell are you looking at that I'm not? The FBI has definitely been weaponized. You know, there's tons of anecdotal instances of weaponization. We've seen it outright. You know, like I said, from trying to put informants in the Catholic Church to taking down social media posts and everything in between. Let's keep going, though. FBI data reviewed by Newsweek indicated that nearly 2/3 of the FBI's current investigations center on Trump supporters accused of disregarding anti-riot laws. More than a dozen current or former government officials who specialize in terrorism testified to Newsweek that the spike in targeting was caused by the FBI's decision to include Trump supporters in its broadened definition of domestic extremism. In a statement, the FBI reportedly stated that the threat posed by domestic violent extremists is persistent, evolving, and deadly. The FBI's goal is to detect and stop terrorist attacks, and our focus is on potential criminal violations, violence, and threats of violence. Anti-government or anti-authority violent extremism is one category of domestic terrorism, as well as one of the FBI's top threat priorities, he continued. We are committed to protecting the safety and constitutional rights of all Americans and will never open an investigation based solely on First Amendment protected activity, including a person's political beliefs or affiliations. That is bullshit. I just named a bunch of stuff that goes totally against that. But why would the FBI tell the truth? There's no reason to tell the truth. Hardly anybody tells the truth anymore. According to the FBI director, Christopher Wray, the January 6th event was not an isolated event, and the threat is not going away anytime soon. Earlier this year, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security reportedly released a joint report in which they stated that threats from extremism have increased in the last 2 years. Quote, threats from DVEs, domestic violent extremists, have increased in the last 2 years, and any further increases in threats likely will correspond to potential flashpoints such as high-profile elections and campaigns or contentious current events, it read. In October 2022, the FBI reportedly created a new subcategory named AGAVE, Other, which stands for Anti-Government, Anti-Authority, Violent Extremism, describing those were a threat and classifies as domestic violent extremists who cite anti-government or anti-authority motivations for violence or criminal activity not otherwise defined, such as individuals motivated by a desire to commit violence against those with a real or perceived association with a specific political party or faction of a specific political party. According to additional government insiders who spoke to Newsweek, the AGAVE Other designation refers to political violence associated with Trump supporters. That's right. Apparently, Trump supporters are all extreme violent people. And now, I support Trump, and I'm very anti-violence. So, take that however you want. Most Trump supporters, I would imagine, are anti-violence and anti-shit like that. I got dropped on my head as a kid, and sometimes I can't talk. I know, it's crazy. I'm sitting here doing something that requires talking to a camera, and I have trouble talking. I know. It's a crazy world we live in, folks. The FBI agent reportedly said that the Agave threats includes anarchist violent extremists, militia violent extremists, sovereign citizen violent extremists, and other violent extremists, some of whom are motivated by a desire to harm those with a real or perceived association with a political party or faction. Right. Stay informed. Receive breaking news blast directly into your inbox for free. Subscribe. Yes. Please subscribe right now. But like I said, it's no surprise to me that the FBI is targeting Trump supporters. They are trying to take Trump down completely. They do not like populism. They do not like anti-establishment sentiments, because our current establishment is broken, okay? And people are tired of it. I talk to people all the time. They're simply tired of Washington. They're tired of everything government. And honestly, I don't blame these people, because when you see the news, when you see that our major cities, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Los Angeles, you have all this crime going on. You have these people in herds, droves of people running into places, robbing the stores blind. Nothing happens. You have carjackings, fucking home invasions, all kinds of stuff. People being murdered, people being thrown in front of trains. It's crazy. And the FBI wants to target Trump supporters. Why don't you target these criminals? Why don't you go after and stop the crime? That's what the FBI is for. Federal Bureau of Investigations. You're supposed to stop crime. You're supposed to be a federal police force. So why are they not doing that? Why are they not trying to stop this mass crime wave that we've been having for the past 5-6 years? They're not doing anything about it. They're going after Trump supporters because they got a little bit rowdy one day at the Capitol. It's crazy. There's instance after instance of crime. It's crime on a daily basis. People are fleeing from these cities because of this crime. And the government's not doing anything about it. The FBI doesn't seem to care about these people and go after Trump supporters for supporting Trump. So when we see stuff like that, of course we're going to get pissed. That's only going to bring more people to an anti-establishment position, because it's bullshit. When you're seeing shit like this going on and on and on, and there's no stop. City cops, local police, sheriffs, state police, not doing anything about it, it seems like. So of course people are going to be outraged. It's only a matter of time before you start seeing vigilante groups going out there, which that is not what we want. I repeat, we do not want vigilantes. But when the system fails you, and you feel like you're backed into a corner and have no way out, then you're going to fight your way out. That's what the FBI needs to understand. Soft on crime policies create more crime. And that's one reason I say Democrats are insane right now. Because they are letting criminals go. You arrest somebody, no cash bail, you just let them right out of jail, and they go and commit more crime, more violent stuff. I mean, there's, like I said, instance after instance of criminals getting in trouble, getting arrested, getting let right back out of jail, only to go and murder somebody, or do a home invasion, leave somebody critically injured, push people in front of trains. It's getting very old. You know, it's like a revolving cycle, because we had really, really bad crime back in, what was it, the 80s? And then we got tough on crime policies, and crime went way down. I remember New York City being one of the safest cities in America for a while. And the guy who done it is now getting persecuted because he supports Donald Trump. A guy that saved New York City is now being persecuted by the very government that he saved. Ain't that some shit? This political climate right now is just so crazy. And that's the entire reason I'm speaking to my phone right now and putting this video on the internet, is because I'm seeing all this bullshit out there and I've got to say something about it. If it wouldn't be for all this, you wouldn't see my face right now. It's crazy. The FBI going after Trump supporters, considering them all extremists. That's how I'm taking that article. It didn't say that outright, but that's essentially what it is saying. People read between the lines all the time. And hey, if I'm getting that wrong, then I'm getting that wrong. But if you don't want people to think that they're being targeted, don't just do a broad label on all Trump supporters. That's ridiculous. I've never heard such a stupid thing. That's like labeling all Democrats insane. And that's one reason I say Democrats are insane right now. Wait. Never mind. I'm sorry. I had to end on that note. That's all I got for this one, y'all. And hey, I appreciate everybody watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this story. It's insanity at its greatest, if you ask me. But like I said, y'all, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment and have a good one. And be positive. Peace.